So it looks like WWE SummerSlam after this year will be expanding to 2 nights. They will be the first 2-night SummerSlam, which is going to be 2026, if I'm not mistaken. 2026 to 2025 is set to take place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's going to be the first 2-night SummerSlam. First of all, I want to know how you feel about it. And how do you feel about SummerSlam being 2 nights? Do you feel like the 2-night PLE should be exclusive for WrestleMania?
It's 2 ways to look at it because I like when WrestleMania felt unique. I was completely in support of like the 2-day package. But for SummerSlam, people had always said that it's like a second WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not, I wouldn't say it's wrong. But do you feel like the last few SummerSlams felt that it gave you that takeaway that every match on there counted and that it needs to be split up at all? Because I just can't remember too many recent SummerSlams where I had that feeling. Like maybe I like the very ending, or maybe like 2 to 3 matches, but that's just my biggest thing. Like, is the card gonna be worthy enough of a 2-night spectacular? What do you think?
To be honest, now that we've kind of distinguished, and you're right, because SummerSlam is kind of labeled as WrestleMania in the sun. But while I haven't seen that, like, oh man, every match is a must see. I feel like I've gotten it in the past 2 years because of the Bloodline storyline. I feel like it has kind of pushed WWE to a place where everything on the card has to matter because this main event matters, right? But I feel like they have the potential to even fine-tune that even more. If SummerSlam is going to be the summer spectacular, right? If it is going to be the summer WrestleMania, which I think that is what the point is of making it a 2-day PLE is, I feel like it can be put into a space where it's like every match counts. And I feel like, I mean, we've seen it over the past couple years. The quality of WrestleMania has increased drastically. The 2-day WrestleMania has qualified WrestleMania 40 as being one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time.
Yeah.
And so when you put that into perspective, it's like, okay, what other events can be all-time WWE pay-per-views if we just move it to 2 days? And how can we utilize all these other cities? They may not even be WrestleMania cities, but can hold an event like a SummerSlam. I do not want to be in Minneapolis, Minnesota in April. I don't. June?
I don't want to be at all. What the hell? What is in Minnesota? I've been thinking about it. Like, y'all could have went with a better spot.
I mean, the Timberwolves, the Vikings, Prince's estate is in
When
is
have
in
you
Minnesota.
ever talked about Vikings with me?
I mean, you don't talk football. So, like, the Viking Raiders could have a great tag team match when they decide to come back. They can have, like, a homecoming. It could be a whole thing. It's good for the brand.
I don't know why this was disrespectful to me. Like, you could have went anywhere else, Minnesota.
That's true.
What am I do for 2 nights in Minnesota? 2 nights.
Mall of America. It's the best.
The mall?
The biggest mall in America.
Get out of here.
Have a ball.
Get out of here.
You can visit where WCW had their first ever Nitro. Mall of America. Largest mall in America. Whoop-dee. You feel me? But back to the main point. I feel like this is a smart move. I feel like it also opens up possibilities for other host cities that may not necessarily be good for WrestleMania months. I feel like if the idea of SummerSlam is to be WrestleMania in the sun, they can have SummerSlam largely on the East Coast. I could see a SummerSlam at MetLife. I could see a SummerSlam in Philly, in DC, in Boston.
Those are way better choices.
They're way better choices because we're from the East Coast, of course. I mean, in addition to the fact that the cities are
I'm
just
gonna say,
better.
like, you want to, the same way they're doing, well, actually, no, I don't want them to copy piece of packages because the packages are like cool and it should be just a WrestleMania thing. But if they wanted to in the near future, like, you could at least establish some packages for them if you go off the East side. But let me let you get back to your point.
But I just feel like SummerSlam can greatly benefit from, number one, it being a 2-day PLE, and number to it kind of being presented as the WrestleMania I'm calling that WrestleMania in the Sun.
Yeah.
From now on.
I was like, did he just make that? Okay,
Yes,
I saw this move.
That was a bar. That was off the top of the head. You feel me? But I think this is a smart move. I want to know what everybody else thinks. Do you think that SummerSlam should be a 2-day PLE? Let us know in the comments below. But we're moving on.